The day that I was brutally attacked by my ex is a day that I will never forget as long as I live. My ex asked if I could bring our son over to his mother's apartment, and I agreed. I walked in through the door. I realized very quickly that this was a bad situation. He grabbed me by the back of the throat, got me down onto a bed. He was just punching me over and over and over again, biting my face, ripping at me everywhere. I literally could hear the bones in my face breaking. I had blood coming out of my ears, my nose. Our son, he was stroking my hair and saying, "Mama, it's okay. Dada, stop hurting Mama. Dada, stop it." As he was hitting me, he is looking at me with this disgusting look of pride and rage. And then he started strangling me. He said, "I'm going to kill you, and you're going to sit on a pedestal in heaven forever. And then I'm going to kill myself." And I prayed for my children, and I accepted that my death had come. After he got off of me, I was shaking and I was trembling. And he came back in the door, and he had our son beside him. And he had a bat in one hand, and he had a knife in the other hand. And he started laughing at me, and he said, "What do you think you're doing? Where do you think you're going? You're not gonna get out of here. You're not gonna make it past me out this door." He said, "You're gonna die." And I looked at our son the best that I could because my vision was really blurry. And I said, "I love you."
Well, Brianna says she was so desperate to escape his attack that night that she attempted to jump out of a second-story window to safety.
I'm screaming help as loud as I can. I am hanging headfirst out this window, completely nude, because he had ripped my clothes off of me prior to that. He said, "You're not getting away." He was trying to pull me back up into that room, and there was no way I was going back in that room. During that struggle, the large shards of glass, one of them punctured my main artery. I'm bleeding to death with these spurts of blood. I fell approximately 30 feet to the ground. Upon hitting the ground, I saw his head disappear from the window, and I knew he was coming for me. I stood up somehow with all of these injuries, and I started to run, but he caught me. And I remember that feeling of hope being immediately just taken from me. He grabbed me by my hair, and he dragged me through the asphalt into a carport where he started bashing my head, telling me that he's gonna finish me. There was two men. They heard this commotion, and they came out. One of them went and chased my ex. I'm just shaking, and I just want to know if my son's okay. I was in and out of consciousness while being airlifted, and I actually was resuscitated after clinically, medically dying. Then I regained consciousness while in the trauma unit. My jaw was broken. My cheekbones were broken. My mouth was swollen and sticking together. I had teeth that were missing that were black. All of my ribs were broken. I was screaming. It hurt so bad. It is by the grace of God and my rescuers that I am sitting here today.
As I said to Stacy, I'm glad to meet you on two levels. One just today, and one to be able to meet you because you're still alive. You two women cheated death. What did you think when you were listening to the experience that Stacy and her daughter and niece went through?
Well, first of all, I'm so sorry. And just know that it was never any fault of yours, never any fault of yours. You are incredibly lucky to be here. The reason why you don't know many people who have an experience like yours is because most of them don't make it. We're an exception. You're doing better than you think.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What do you think when you hear what Brianna went through and how she fought to stay alive?
I was resonating with it. I was feeling that because prior to the shooting, the abuse that you're a survivor as well. I mean, you barely didn't make it either. But when I was hearing your story, I was thinking of, especially with your son being there and trying to save his mama, essentially, you're another hero as well.
Well, hey there, thanks so much for watching. And while I have you, do you have a story or a question for me? If so, I do want to hear from you. Click on the link in the description and tell me what's going on. You just might end up right here with me on the show. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Click that little red button below. You know you want to. What are you waiting for? Do it!